Hey, how y'all doing? I need hugs from everybody up here. I love these guys. It's the best damn band. Oh, wait a minute.
Come on.
He's not the band.
How badass was he on stage last night? It was unbelievable.
Isn't it crazy what we did with that second verse?
Dude.
You were great last night, man. That was awesome.
Thank you. It was so much fun. I don't believe it was such a blessing to be able to sing with this band. I wanted to sing with them for so long, and we got to do it. So
Yeah, people were standing up. They loved it. It was really great.
It was fun. I mean, I don't know if you see me singing Prince, but I did.
We see it now.
See you now.
All right.
Well, enjoy.
Have at it.
So, I'm gonna sing another song, if that's okay. I want to sing. Then I'll take some questions. I told them, listen, I can't feel, I don't have enough bullshit to fill a whole hour. So. This is a Jason Aldean, You Make It Easy. Hear that? Now I need to get a pick. And I got one, and then I need to put the cable in the right place. This is how this stuff works. And I got to count the frets, I think. Let me see if I got it right. Excuse my guitar playing, it ain't good. Like a rainy Sunday morning makes me wanna stay in bed, twisted up all day long. You're my inspiration, girl, you take me places, put the words right into these songs. Stealing kisses undercover, babe, I see forever when I see your face. And I swear God made you for me. You make it easy, love. You know what? I'm gonna start again because this is too high.
It's all right, Sway and do it all the time. You're good. Yeah.
Now that I've wasted like enough of your time, okay. Like a rainy Sunday morning makes me wanna stay in bed, twisted up all day long. Is that right? Does that sound right?
Yeah. Sounds good.
You're my inspiration, girl, you take me places, put the words right into these songs. Stealing kisses undercover, babe, I see forever when I see your face. And I swear God made you for me. You make it easy, love, on you. Make it easy with every little thing you do. You're my sunshine on the darkest days, my better half, my saving grace. You make me who I wanna be. You make it easy. Am I singing on key?
Sounds good.
You took off my rough around the edges, never let it ruffle up your feathers, angel. Yeah, I'm down for life, you got me wrapped around your finger, and I like it just in case you can't tell. You make it easy, love, on you, make it kisses undercover, babe. I see forever when I see your face. And I swear God made you for me. You make it easy, loving up on you. Make it easy with every little thing you do. You're my sunshine in the darkest days, my better half, my saving grace. You make me who I wanna be. You make it easy. You make it easy. And she cried, so I figured out. Not that I like making my daughter cry. Anyway, that's that. I got that out of the way. I just wanted to sing that song because I like it. And well, so sweet. Thank you very much for putting up with me. So we got some questions, I reckon.
I was wondering what scenes were difficult to shoot or got ruined by Jared or Justin when you're on Supernatural.
Anytime that I had to do anything physical where I had to try to keep up with Jared and Jensen physically was awful. I mean, there was one scene where I had to, Jared and I are running towards something, and you know, I was running, he was walking. And that's what happens when you have legs, you know, 10 feet long. But yeah, it was good. And they like to make fun of me. There was one scene we had where it's like I get busted and then I take off running, and we got to the end of this row of lockers, and then they start chasing after me. But on the first take, this is what happens when your body gets old. It just doesn't work the way it used to. So I'm running down, and I stop. And then I turned to the show, and they thought it was, you know, I looked like an idiot, so they had a good laugh out of that. But yeah, so it just the physical stuff was for me tough. But working with them was a jam. It was awesome. And the first time I told Jensen this a couple days after working with him, I said, and you probably heard this before, but I you know, took him aside and I said, both of you guys have got your heads screwed on so right, and I'm so proud of you, and just stay that way. And they did. Not because I told them to, but just because they are who they are. And like I've told some of you, you know, when I found out they were Texas boys, and I figured it out. But that's that. Okay? How you doing?
Hi, Mitch, how are you?
Good, thank you.
So you were phenomenal last night.
Thank you.
Highlight of my night. If you had the opportunity to perform again at a future SNS, what is something that you would like to play?
We're talking about Johnny Cash. From my experience with Johnny Cash, there's a song that he did called "Get Rhythm" that I really like. But I mean, there's any number of things that Mr. Cash did. I'd love to try to sing. So, but there is one here. Just put up there for a second. There is one song that we may be working on. Here's a little tease. And I'm not going to be doing this the whole time, I promise. I'm just
We don't mind.
This is kind of, it kind of ties into the show, and well, I got a girl and Ruby is her name. Well, she doesn't mean, but I love her just the same. That's it. There was a Ruby character on the show, wasn't there? You play that?
Genevieve.
Really?
Sorry, took me a second.
So that'll be a little homage to Miss Jen Pileggi. That's it. I promise I won't pull the guitar out of here. Bye.
Hello, Mitch. I was so hoping that I could do a meet and greet or do some kind of photo, but by the time they announced you as a guest, my budget for meet and greets and offs had gone, so I'm so glad I can do this question and interview. So I actually have been watching you on television since the X-Files, when you played So I'm a 90s teen, so that was a huge show for me, and so it was a beautiful surprise when you showed up on Supernatural as Samuel. And these were the days when, you didn't announce, right? You didn't have social media back then, so we didn't know who was going to play who. It was just like, oh my God, that's him, and, So I just had a question. I know that you've been in the business since the 80s. And I looked up your bio before X-Files. And, so that's...
Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah, no, I'm 46, so yeah, so I'm right there with you.
No, darling, I'm 71.
I believe in that. Yeah.
Well, you got it right.
Thank you so much. I just love the way you interact. And so my question, or just say observation, kind of thing, you can answer it as simple as you want. How do you feel about the evolution? Like you've been here since the 80s and now, so many things have changed. And how do you feel about, like change, in all aspects, whether it's movies or the filmmaking or, just, guest starring. And the shows of yours that I really liked also were, of course, X-Files, Supernatural, and then Stargate Atlantis, because you had a lot of episodes there, and I like the Stargate universe as well. So just a simple answer, you can do your best to answer it.
Yeah, no, the industry has changed a lot over 40 plus years that I've been doing this. I'll say this, I'm glad that I'm working on the show that I'm working on right now. That's my best answer, because I couldn't be in a better place than working on Walker down in Austin and working with Jared and the crew and cast that I'm working with. I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. It's the best experience I've ever had. I mean, working on the X-Files was a great piece of work, and I will never not say that it was a wonderful experience for me to work on. But in total, my experience working on Walker right now it compares to nothing that I've done. It's we got a cast and crew that truly love each other and work our asses off to make everybody, to get our crew home so they can spend time with their families. And it's huge. So I was telling some people earlier in meet and greets that our show is that I think a lot of shows in the industry are looking at our show as a template, how to operate, how to get your crew home, keep them rested, and keep them not from killing themselves on the road driving home, and being able to spend time with their families, which is paramount. So, yeah.
Yes,
Hi.
Hi, Mitch. I came out from Canada, but just say hello. Mine's also...
I'm married to a Canadian.
Oh, yeah! So mine's also kind of X-Files related. It was the first show I watched that my parents let me watch, an adult show. I dressed up as an FBI agent when I was 11 for Halloween.
Of course you did.
I did. It was the show for me until I started watching Supernatural. But I would love to hear if you had a favorite storyline for A.B. Skinner or funny anecdote, anything from the X-Files experience. I would love to hear it.
Man, you know what? That was a lot of years of doing that show, and it was a long time ago. I just
trust no one.
I love trust no one, right? That's one of the things I love about what Chris Carter did was, I mean, he was so prescient. It's like the stuff that he was writing, or that our writers were writing about, and he was putting on the screen is we're loving it. I'll tell you one storyline I didn't like, and that was the nanotechnology shit that they made me deal with when Krychek was manipulating Skinner. But I love that he was Mulder and Scully's champion. That's my favorite part of his whole deal was he was their champion, and he was ready to die for them. Not so much first, because he was trying to figure out what was going on, you know, between, you know, he had a fine line that he was standing on, and as he said many times. But ultimately, he became their champion, and I love that aspect of who he is, and the fact that he has such a strong moral compass.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Hi.
Hi, Mitch. I'm Krista. And I just want to say I love your work. Not only Supernatural and Walker, but it's I'm playing a game that is called Madness. I don't know if you've heard of it before. Okay, so basically I ask you for a type of word, action, noun, and I fill in this word with other people saying the words, and it's in a story, and I'm going to be finishing up the story later on today. So if you can contribute an adjective for the story, please.
What's the story about? Supercilious. How's that? I just learned that word. All right, is that okay? All right, I'm an idiot, so
Hi, Mitch. Absolutely love Walker and your work on Walker and
Bless you, thank
storylines
you.
and bond gets. I was curious, you've spoken about how great the cast is, but you also have two very young, up-and-coming, wonderful actors playing your grandkids. I was just curious, what is the dynamic on set? Do you feel yourself as a mentor to the younger actors? How does that, you know, what happens?
yeah, I think we all try to mentor them and give them as much good advice as we possibly can. They're both extremely intelligent and I think they're both extremely talented. To watch how they've progressed from our first season to where they are now, I'm like, I'm stunned. It's so much fun to watch that growth from these two young people. But they got Molly Hagan to look at. They've got Jared. They've got some people to really give them some good, advice and to try to emulate how they. I think the main thing that they're going to get from working on this show, and a lot of it is because of Jared, and I'm sure it's the same with Jensen on his show, that the respect and love that people have for each other and how to treat each other, and there's no divas on set, there's no BS. So they see that, and they're going to carry that. They're going to carry that forward through their careers, and that just makes me full. So I'm happy about that. We got a rumble going over there?
Yeah.
Everybody okay?
Tell him to shut up.
Just a baby.
Oh, the babies. Oh, no babies. All right. Is that good? Is that answer you? All right.
My granddaughter.
Hi. I'm not bringing her up here because she'll. I did a panel one time with the company, and there was some kid that was some precocious kid in the audience. Was obviously very intelligent, asked some brilliant questions, and David brought him up on stage, and the kid dominated the rest of the panel. Lesson learned. Hi.
Hi, Mitch. I'm Janet from right outside Philadelphia. I've been a fan of you since the X-Files. The X-Files was similar to somebody else, like one of the first shows that I turned me on to this genre. I know it was done before, but I just think the X-Files did it so amazing, and it kind of just paves the way for things like Buffy and Angel, even Supernatural. So what did it feel, or what does it feel like that, that started in the 90s, I know you were acting before then, but to be a part of this genre that has continued on and taken it on a world of its own, to create content and stuff like that.
I can't tell you how grateful I am to have been a part of something like that, and I tell Chris that all the time. And I tell him, I'll text him or call him and say, dude, I'm like meeting 10-year-olds that are binge watching the show. 30 years later. Was it 30 years? Is it 30?
Yeah, they're actually 30, yeah.
Yeah. So, the fact that it is, and you watch it, and it holds up. It's still a really good show. You know, so I mean, that says a lot about what they were doing as, you know, as the writing teams and the producers, and it really is, it's pretty amazing, and I fell into the honey pot when I walked into the room and met Chris Carter, so, you know, I got lucky. I walked into a room and met Wes Craven, and then I walked into a room and met Chris Carter, and those were two big days in my career. So I have nothing but gratitude and love for that experience. You bet. Okay, so working with the cast of Supergirl, I did about four episodes. I think 3 or 4. I mean, I don't know, a couple. Thank you for the question. It was, you know, I kind of just, well, first of all, I had to wear that goofy outfit in the first couple episodes. So I don't know, what was I, Rama, I don't know. I feel like soup. But it was, you know, they were all really nice. They were all really, really nice. And I had worked with Julie Gonzalez on Dallas, so I got to hang out with her a little bit. So it was fun. It wasn't as on Vancouver, and I love the shows in Vancouver. Thank you.
Hi, Mitch.
Hi.
I was just wondering if you tell like the most interesting or funny memory maybe with David or Jillian or experiences.
Experience with David and Jillian?
Yeah, David Duchovny and.
Oh, David Duchovny. Oh. You know, we had a lot of laughs. We always had fun. Sometimes it wasn't fun, but you know, for the most part, it was, you know, David's extremely funny. Jillian, when she starts giggling and laughing, it's all over. You know, so and there was a lot of that. So we had a lot of good times. It was yeah, and they were, you know, once again, when they started doing the show, they were both very, very young actors, and you know, just getting going, and then they just got, you know, hit by everything. So it was interesting to watch them traverse through that, you know, and obviously they've done well. Jillian's doing great, and David's doing good. I mean, how many books has he published? He's singing, he's writing, he's doing all kinds of stuff. So, but it was, I mean, X-Files was a huge part of my life. So I'm very grateful to them. You bet. Hi.
Hey Mitch, how you doing?
Good.
So first off, I love this show. What's always appealing about the show was, definitely from a guy's standpoint, living on the road with your buddies, besides fighting monsters and such, but being able to eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want, and nothing will happen to you. So that's always the great thing about the show. But wanted to know, was there like a signature drink on set that came out in celebration, or if you knew that, oh, they're busting this out, it's going to be one of those nights? Was there anything like that on set that...
I'm sorry, on Supernatural?
Yes, I'm saying Supernatural.
No.
Nothing like that.
No, not really. Well, I don't drink, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have been.
Or they don't serve.
What's that?
Well, like the cast and crew, they put something out like, oh, it's going to be one of these types.
Yeah, you know, no, not really. And I wasn't. I mean, I didn't do that many episodes of Supernatural, so I did like 8, something like that. And you know, so it's not like I was there all the time. So I don't know. There may have been other times when all that stuff happened, but not when I was there. So. Yeah, thank you. You bet. Hi.
Hi, I'm Alice. I've also been a fan of yours since ADA Skinner days, but unlike most of the people here, I was already a grown-up working nerd. And when X-Files was on, when all my friends were swooning over David Duchovny, I was like, but ADA Skinner, hear me out. So
Bless you.
my question is,
There you are, I finally found you.
my question is, one of the important pieces of DNA that both the X-Files and Supernatural share is Kim Manners.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any good Kim Manners stories?
I do, but I can't tell them. I got some real good ones. No, it was, you know, to be, I mean, Kim's the reason, you know, Kripke and Kim were the reason that I ended up doing the show. So I worked with Kripke on another show. I'm not going to say which one. Anyway, so they were the reason that I came and did it. And I, you know, working with Kim on, because he directed probably most of the episodes on the X-Files. And he had an energy that was just, I mean, you know, kick it in the ass was right before every scene, it was kick it in the ass. All right, let's kick it in the ass. And, you know, and we would, you know, because he was there driving us. This little guy was a little guy too. And he just, boy, he was so full of energy and so full of life. And then when I went to Supernatural and he was there, it was shortly before he passed, and I saw the difference between the dynamo that he was and where, you know, and it crushed my soul to know that he was hurting, you know, because he was such an amazing individual. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you the stories that I did tell you.
That's still great, thank you very much.
All right, darling, thank you. Hi.
Hi, Sherry from Pennsylvania. Two things. How much of Supernatural have you watched? And then I'm wondering if you happen to know any Gordon Lightfoot songs?
Did I set you up for that? I guess I did. I was talking. I had presented a song called "Sundown" by Gordon Lightfoot to the guys, and we were thinking about maybe doing that. But we didn't. So, what was the first?
Oh, so I'm saying, well, you wouldn't want to play a little bit of Sundown, would you? But how much of Supernatural?
Oh, you know, yeah. I started once I got casted, because I hadn't watched it when they cast me, and then I was like, well, I guess I better take a look at it. And I started watching it, and I was like, damn, this is good. Why haven't I been watching this? You know, so I kept watching it, and my wife had been watching it. My daughter was a huge fan, so yeah. So I can't tell you how many episodes I've watched, but yeah, and there's a lot of episodes in the later years that I haven't watched because I was busy working, I guess. But yeah.
Well, you got me really wanting to hear a little bit of Sundown. Do you think you could give us a little bit?
I don't right now.
No? Okay.
Yeah, but maybe at some point.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep bugging you guys about music shit.
Hi, Mitch.
Thank you.
Hi, Mitch. I'm Amy. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
So first I want to say that my dad let me watch X-Files when I was like 10 or 11 years old. So I was allowed to watch as a young child, and it was like something we bonded over. So
How you doing now?
I'm sorry?
How you doing now? You making it through all
I made it through, yeah.
Okay. I didn't let my daughter start watching until she was 13.
Didn't have too many nightmares. My question was, I've been very fortunate to go to Austin a few times, and obviously you're working there now in Walker. I want to know what some of your favorite things about Austin are.
I just love the feel. I started acting in Austin back in the early '80s, and I went to school at UT in the '70s. So I have some history in Austin. So I've always loved going back and spending time in Austin. And then when Jared called and said, you want to play my dad? I was like, well, yeah. And I said, where are we playing? I said, well, in Austin. I go, well, okay, I'll see you there. I know it's hot this year, and we've been having the freezes. I've got probably 60 oak trees on my property down there, and I lost a lot of them because of the freeze. There's a lot of branches. I spent a lot of money having branches hauled away, but I just love where I'm at. My wife and daughter are with me. They love it there. They love our house. They love just everything about where we're at, and she's making friends, I mean, she actually hangs out with Violet Brinson, Violet Brinson's mom a lot, so which I love, you know, and also with Chantel Pierre, Jeff Pierre's wife. So that just speaks to the, you know, the familiar aspect of how we've all grown to love each other. You know? But I just like the people. It's just people are really nice. People are just really nice, you know, and so I like that. That's the biggest part. People, you know, people being nice. Thank you. You bet. Hi.
Hey. Sorry. Oh, okay. I have a question, but I just want to tell you a very quick thing. When I was a kid, my parents took me to Washington, D.C. on vacation, and everybody comes back, oh, the Smithsonian, blah, 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 blah. I was blown away by the tour, they probably don't have them anymore, of the FBI building. And I went to the tour guide and I said, when I grow up, I want to be an FBI agent. And he said, we don't have female FBI agents. So.
What was this?
This, I guess it was in the early 60s.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm around already. So anyway, when the X-Files came out, I was just like, yay, finally we're in. But fast forward, that's what I wanted to share. Fast forward, when we finally got to the episode where we, the audience, the watchers of Supernatural, found out that what happened with the demon and Mary and making and when Mary had made the 10-year deal, and you become obsessed, you become possessed by a demon for a while, and that whole episode, watching it was like, oh my God, that's what happened. So I want to know, when you first read that script, did you have an, oh my God, that's what happened moment also?
With Samuel and the
yes.
Turning into the demon, the yellow-eyed demon?
And I'm assuming...
Snapping his wife's neck.
Yeah, that whole thing.
This is what I don't get about Samuel. I mean, snapping his wife's neck.
Did you know beforehand how this whole thing started, or did you...
Well, that was the first episode that I did, so I you know, yeah, I mean, and the fact that Dean was going back in time, and he meets his, you know, his mom and his dad and his grandparents on the Campbell soup side. So you know, I don't know if I had any expectations or any, you know, as far as, I will tell you that I had so much fun turning into the yellow-eyed demon. It was a hoot. And then I got to go sniff Jensen all up. I mean, I had so much fun with that, because he was like, and I'm like, I wanted to say, my goodness, he's like a ball. He is, isn't he? They both are.
So that's how, okay, so when we found out what was really, how this whole thing started, and you were integral part of that because of that episode, I mean, I just want to know how you reacted, but you were just like really having a blast being... Just
having a good time being the yellow-eyed demon.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my acting doesn't get too deep. So...
It's so believable.
Yeah, listen, when you see me, you go, oh man, that's such a good performance. How does he do that? I'm basically trying to remember my lines. So, what it looks like, man, there's a lot going on in his head. Yeah, it's me trying to go, what am I saying? All right.
Thank you very much.
You bet, girl. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Mitch. My name is Monica, and I'm from Seattle.
Hi, Monica.
I've been watching you for a very long time, and you were just talking here about how lightly, or, you know, of your take on the yellow-eyed demon and everything. I want to take you back a little bit further to when you were in Shocker.
Oh.
That was that was the first time that my husband and I saw you, and I mean, it was just like, you were so creepy. How do you prepare for a role like that?
I just go crazy. You know, I had Wes Craven off camera, you know, egging me on and telling me, you know, he was throwing lines at me, and I'm like, oh God, Wes, no, I can't say that. It was great. You know, I just, I'm a ham. That's where it comes from. I'm a ham. So, Yeah, but it was, I mean, some of it was, but some of it was tongue in cheek, and some of it was goofy, and Wes had a really corny sense of humor. And you can see it in a lot of his films, and I would tell that to his face if he was still alive, he knows that. And I loved him to death. Yeah, you know.
And actually, can I say one more thing? Hollywood 80 was one of our favorite episodes of X-Files.
Thank you.
It reminded us a lot of Hollywood Babylon. There seems to be a lot of common.
Yeah, you know the scene where Taya asks Scully to how she runs in heels?
Yeah.
And in the background you see Scully running back and forth while Taya's on her phone. That was my wife running back and forth. My wife was Jillian's photo double on the show. And so a lot of the times you think you're looking at Jillian, you're looking at my wife. Because she did a lot of stuff. She did a lot of stuff in, you know, driving shots and vehicles. And, I mean, I even did scenes. I even did scenes with Arlene when Jillian was shooting another scene or another episode, and I had a scene they needed to shoot because my wife's hair was done exactly, colored exactly like Jillian's, and so I mean there are episodes where if I'm talking to Scully, you just see her back. Sometimes it's my wife. So, and it was funny. And then my wife became my secretary on the show. That's how this business works. But yeah, you bet. But anyway, so it was hilarious that my wife sometimes, she'd come into a scene where, you know, Skinner's being Skinner in his office, and she comes in and to tell me, give me a message or something like that, I'd turn to her and she would just start laughing, and I'd go, what? She goes, that's just not you. And I go, yeah, but baby, you can't do that. Camera's rolling, this is film, we don't have the new stuff yet.
Hi, Mitch. First off, I wanted to say that you're super sweet and a really, really nice person.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate that. That's right.
My question is what was your first acting job on a set, and how was the experience? Was it overwhelming? How did you feel?
On a film or a TV set?
Yeah.
Boy, that was a long time ago. I did a movie. One of the first movies that I ever did was with Scott Wilson. Herschel from Walking Dead. Yeah. I did a movie with him and David Carradine, and so I got to watch this man, Scott Wilson, who was a pro, and I got to watch him, and I learned. And once again, I was green back then. I hadn't done hardly anything, and we shot in Laredo, and I got to watch him work. And I learned, as a young actor, I learned so much. I would just devour everything that he was doing, how he handled himself, how he behaved, what he did, you know, in the course of doing a scene. And I did that a lot with a lot of actors. And I was fortunate to be able to work with some pretty amazing actors when I was young. So as an actor, I tried to soak in everything that I possibly could to make me a better actor, you know, or to teach me how to act, really, and how to handle myself on a set. So I think that's wrong.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. So earlier when you autographed my pop, we got talking about horses. And I wanted to know what your favorite horse that you were able to work with and why.
You know, I just had the one, is that the picture, is that like a chestnut, what is that?
Yeah, it was a chestnut quarter horse.
Yeah, chestnut quarter horse. So that's my horse. Yeah, so that's the one that I've been riding, you know, one they let me ride. I had my, at a certain point, my shoulder's was hurting me for like 25 years, and so I finally, Molly Hagan went to the producers. Actually, my wife went to Molly Hagan, and then Molly Hagan went to the producers and said, you need to give Mitch some time off to get his shoulder replaced. So since then, they have not let me on a horse, and I'm dying. Because I mean, it's like, I want to get out there on the road. I mean, it's like Jeff here, he's out there cowboying up, and you know, and of course Jared and Keegan, you know, so it's now they even got Kobe on a horse, which is hilarious. But Yeah, so I miss being able to you know, and it'll get back. I'm you know, if we come back, if we do more seasons, I'm going to make sure that I get back on the horse because I need to. It's just
Literally.
you know, it's great therapy. Yeah, yeah. And it's to get out on a horse and just out on open range and just ride is glorious. It is. It is. Thank you for the question. All right. Anybody else? You guys tired of my BS? Well, I got nothing else to tell you. So.
There's a guitar behind you.
Does anybody else want to know anything? Just shout something out.
Sing for us.
I don't know if I'm singing in the right key with this guitar. I'll just sing. I don't know. I don't even know if I know all the words of this song. I'm gonna try to sing it.
Make them up. Rob doesn't know his either.
He read the songs, he doesn't know them.
Where the sun is surely sinking down, and the moon is slowly rising. I don't know the chords, I forgot the chords. This old world must still be spinning around, and I still love you. So close your eyes, wait, so close your eyes. That ain't it. So close your eyes. So close your eyes. No, it ain't it. I can't find the chord. So. I'm gonna tell you a story that you won't believe. I fell in love last Friday evening with a girl that I saw on a barroom TV screen. That's my singing. Now you can sing that. You're Are you clapping because I didn't sing it?
You sound great.
I can't, it's like, it's just roller derby queen. Is it okay if I sing that? It's kind of like, yeah? I'm gonna tell you a story that you won't believe. But I fell in love last Friday evening with a girl that I saw on the ballroom TV screen. Well, I was just getting ready to get my hat when she caught my eye and I put it back. Know to myself, a couple more shots and beers. I fell in love with a roller derby queen. Round, you go round. Meanest of a woman that anybody ever seen. Down in the arena, she was 5'6". Whoa, wait a minute. Well, she was 5'6". 15 years, bleach blonde bomber with a streak of mean. Fans called us hubby, but all the friends called us Spike. Oh, yeah, roller derby program said that she was built like a refrigerator with a head. Fans called us hubby, but all the friends called us Spike. The night that I fell in love with a roller derby queen. Around, you go round. Meanest of a woman that anybody ever seen. Down in the arena. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's pop sensation. Mitch Pileggi.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mitch, how was that? That was awesome, man.
Thank you guys.
last give back winner of the weekend. Mike?
A lot of people are already singing this might be, I don't know, it's like the robots picking it.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of people out there want to win.
Okay.
So one person will like you, a lot of people won't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Get that far.
Because I think you had some sort of like influence on this.
Yeah.
And I can't say that you don't. I don't know.
No? I think we do ones and zeros.
Ones and zeros. Ones and zeros.
Ones and zeros.
Okay, here you go, Mike. Here we go. The final winner, Steven.
Do I have
A little drum roll.
Oh, I have to pick it up.
You gotta give it a sheet of paper. Grab one of these sheets of paper. Don't look. That's cheating. See the big robot arm in there? Well, be sure. Oh, it's deep. Be sure it's one. Is it just one? All right. Read for me, Michael, the name you see there.
Janine Desalme.
All right, who's Janine? Where's Janine? Anybody know where Janine is? If you know where she is, just point to her. Anybody know where no Janine? Ma'am, are you coming forward to tell me you don't know where Janine is? Come on up here, Janine. Janine, you know what I mean? Janine! Robot Michael Borja handpicked your name from this bag of names. And that means that you now are going to, and this is either a gift or a punishment, depending on how you look at it. You are now one of 3 people who will spend a chunk of time in a private meet and greet with Misha Collins. Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Janine. Janine, hold on. A little high five for the robot. You know, come on, man.
Yeah. Oh, robots need love too.
Robots need love. Thank you very much. It's been a great, I've really been digging this whole Get Back thing, man.
Yeah.
It's been fun. People get excited. The prizes are actually genuinely cool. It's an awesome. Well done, creation.
I want to get back by saying thank you to the science